and foremost, we're going to give all praise to the ones and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to brothers in the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully. Continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing, to find that number to be delivered. Until then, we're going to come out here and continue to put our hands to the plow as commanded to do. Right? And again, 2024 is really starting to heat up, man. These nations are starting to figure this thing out. Everybody's preparing themselves, getting themselves ready. And this is what we're looking forward to. These are the things that we're seeking for, man. Right? And the Lord is making these things come to pass, things we so desire to see since beginning, man.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
It's Isaiah chapter 13, verse 6. It says, "How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand."
Right, hold it right there. How are ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. And again, these are the things that we've been looking for, man. Our hearts and our spirits desire to see these things, all right, in truth and in righteousness' sakes. Because the things that we're living under, the conditions that we're living under, and the people that are over us right now, come on, man. There's a better way, and that way is the way of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But we got to wait upon the Lord. We're not going to seek our kingdom in this kingdom. We're not going to seek, our possessions in this kingdom. This bitch is about to burn up, man. But until then, we're going to keep condemning this place as need be, as commanded to do. Condemn, because this place is nothing but pure wickedness, man. Every day there's something that comes up on the news that they to perpetuate the wickedness. All right, go ahead, brother.
And he says, "How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and he shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt."
Right, all hands are going to be faint, every man's heart shall melt. But we of the hopeful elect, we hope and pray that the Lord puts that spirit of courage upon us. You see? And with that spirit of courage, we're going to come out here and face these things that the Lord is going to set up for a snare for this place, man. We ain't afraid of none of it. All right? We are not afraid of anything that's going to be slammed down upon this place, as far as Esau Edom is concerned. All right? Go ahead.
And say, "And they shall be afraid. Pain and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one another. Their face shall be as flame. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners therefore out of it."
And that's the work of the Lord, man. That's the hand of the Lord to destroy Babylon the Great ultimately. All right? But in the midst of the Lord doing that, give me Isaiah 46 and 8. Isaiah 46 and 8. In the midst of all this being done, we got to hold ourselves and carry ourselves a certain way, man. We can't be faint. All these people outside of this thing of ours, they're the ones that's going to be curled up, travailed like a woman with child. They're the ones that's going to be weeping and gnashing their teeth. All right, read that.
Isaiah 46 and 8. "Remember this and show yourself men."
You see that? Remember this and show yourselves men. Because the times that we're coming upon, man, the Lord has already labeled it out. Men are going to be like women on the ground, travailing with child, holding their loins, man. And being a man just doesn't end with,
having a deep voice.
Right. Being a man is integrity. All right? Having integrity. A lot of men lack integrity around here. Right? But again, show yourselves men. You brothers gonna find out, man. We all gonna see. We ain't gonna be exempt from the shit that's coming down the pipe. May the Lord watch over and protect us. But at the same time, we are going to be caught right in the middle of that shit. That's why he said, "But he shall be saved out of it." When the time of Jacob's trouble fully blows up and explodes on the scene, man. All of you Jake's going to be in bad shape, man. Go ahead, you got something?
Jeremiah 30 verse 4. "And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins."
Right, so that time coming, man. That time's coming. The Lord said he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. But it's not talking about every man on this planet, man. Those of the hopeful elect. Those who have been rolling in the spirit. Those who've been obedient to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. More precious than fine gold. Everybody's gonna go seek out the men of the Lord. And rightfully so. You're gonna have men who thought they was somebody looking to seek you out. "Hey brother, can Can you help me out? Can you show me what to do? Can you guide me? You know, and we as teachers, there may be some men out there that you may, you know, you may have a liking to, you know, like, yo, brother, all right, here's what you want to do. Do this, do that, boom, boom, boom. We can't save nobody, but we can give them guidance. You know, we can give them guidance. You know, now whether the Lord destroys them or not, that's on the Lord. But we as men of the Lord, you know, we're going to always be ready to give an answer in the time for an answer to be given, man. Go ahead.
As a woman in travail, and all faces turn into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Right, and there's that point, he shall be saved out of it. Because remember now, this ain't about the nuclear missiles hitting. The trouble that the Lord is talking about is the devil coming down upon all people, man. The hour of temptation. All right? So there's a lot of shit we're gonna have to endure before the Lord utterly destroys this place. All right? Go ahead.
This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right. Knowing the time it is high time to wake out of sleep. Now we ain't trying to put the car in reverse, man. Somebody falls out the car while the car is rolling, well, we ain't putting the car in reverse, backing up. Yo, get it. No, we out of here. You don't want to hold on tight to the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We rolling, baby. And if fuck around, you fall out and get rolled over. That's just what it is, man. But now it's high time to awake out of sleep. And the masses here in Babylon, they're still under that gross darkness. They're still sleeping like newborn babies, man. Even though they're walking about, even though they're going about their daily business and administrations, they're walking around like newborn babies, blind as bats, man. Go ahead.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Right, and what is that salvation? The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua coming to get us up out of here, man. For the righteous, for the indignation that the Lord has for this place known as America, aka Babylon the Great, man. So our salvation is nearer than we believe, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. Shit, here it is. It's probably about 32 degrees out this bitch. 27 degrees?
Yep.
The elder said it's 27 degrees. I believe his report. All right? So we out here at 27 degrees with that wind chill, and probably bring it down to 20 degrees. You know? But hey, we giving diligence, man, to make our calling and election sure. We ain't gonna let a little bit of cold, you know, divert us from doing this work, man. We may not be out here as long, but we out here getting it in. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, so I can get back to it. It says, the night is far spent, the day is at hand.
Yep.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Right, and putting on that armor of light is putting this word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua upon us. Remembering and meditating on these things because we was once told these things. And now when all hell is going to be breaking loose, brothers going to be scattered, man. We're going to be scattered. It may be, Lord willing, you know, the Lord guides us to where we need to be. But it may be that day when you wake up, you may just have to bounce. No book bag, you know, whatever's just on your back and out of here. Keep that, yeah. I used to tell brothers years ago, when brothers used to come up with flip-flops and all other shit. I told them, don't come around here with them goddamn flip-flops on, man. Don't come around here with them flip-flops, man. Because you just never know. You know, when I see cats, I know I had made a video years ago, and somebody had, there was somebody in GMS that had flip-flops on. And somebody made a video, I guess he didn't get the message, Elder Adama. You know? But the point being is this, man. The scriptures talk about when we left Egypt, we were supposed to have our feet shod, shoes on our feet, because there's going to be some troubled times that we're about to embark upon. That's right. And likewise, this very same time we're living in, man. Fuck around, you, Jake loved them basketball fucking flip-flops, you know, walking around and shit. Let some shit pop off, you in fucking flip-flops.
Yeah,
man. Slipping this shit.
That's right. Down Alabama, the dude had slides and this shit.
There's a song, and the nigga said, I blew off my flip-flop. You know? But again, all seriousness, you know, be prepared, man. You gotta be prepared. Don't sit there, come out the house talking about, we can go fuck this nigga up and slip in flip-flops. You know? Because Esau ain't gonna pity nobody, man. And our enemies ain't gonna pity you, man. Talking about, oh, the nigga slipping and slide, we ain't gonna fuck with him. No, they gonna kill your ass regardless. But be ready, man. Be prepared. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15.
Go ahead.
See then that ye walk circumspectly,
Right.
not as fools, but as wise.
Right. Whenever I hear this scripture, I think of Elder Apostle Gabar, because he was the one that kind of really, started, speaking about being circumspect, from when I came in, and how important and how true this is, man. Always know what's going on around you at all times, okay? Because the minute you fucking decide that you're gonna just not pay attention to shit, you're gonna get got, man. We're coming to some really heavy times right now, and the Spirit of the Lord got to be upon you in order to sustain yourself in these last days, in these troublesome times that are coming. You guys want to fuck around and think that the time of Jacob's trouble is a joke? These devils been showing you in their movies what they're gonna do to you. They're gonna torture you. They're gonna fillet you. They're gonna chop you into pieces, dismember you, behead you, the whole shit.
If I'm at you real quick, Elder,
Go ahead.
just look at the movie called Saw. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that movie called Saw. There's like 5 parts to it, man.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it's this movie, man. He show many ways of how to torture people in that movie, man. In the most horrible way, you witness those characters dying painfully.
Right.
To this torture method, man.
Right.
And you best believe he's doing the same torture method,
Yep.
when shit hit the fan.
But this ain't nothing new, man.
Yeah.
You saw what happened here. Yeah. Give me a minute. Y'all. Give me a minute.
I'll check to see if it's
Orientation is locked. Rotate device. Are we still live?
yeah.
Let me see what it look like. All right, so it's still sitting there, then. That's cool. As long as that shit is up. Give me a slack here, y'all. Slack here.
Now they kind of changed the angle.
View. Damn, I put that. Damn, we started off all right.
Oh no,
That's gonna flip it,
How
right?
about if this
Yeah,
real
try
quick?
that. Hey, give us a minute, y'all.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, she just all of a sudden flipped up on us.
You don't mind if I, because it's an Android, so
Yeah, you know how to work that?
Hey, Amy,
That's why it's getting fucked up.
and ain't no time to beef, man.
Yeah, it's slack here, y'all.
Yeah, that's. I mean, unless you can turn it this way, right?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened to this thing.
Did you say the rotation?
Yeah, but we rotated. It was fine in the beginning. Huh? Yeah, when I put it up this way, but I gotta figure out how to keep it this way though.
No, last night you gotta close it. You gotta get out of it and go back.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I don't want to. Fuck it, we're gonna keep it like that. How's it look?
That's fine. You take it as it is.
How's it look on the live, but that's what that's. It's like it's weight. Looks fine. It's just up on our chest.
Yeah.
Chest up.
You want me to finish that on?
Yeah, finish that off.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Right. Again, circumspectly, understanding what's going on around you at all times, redeeming the time. Why? Because the days are evil. Bad times are coming, man. That's the bottom line to what we're talking about. The bad times that the Lord is about to put upon this earth. And if you don't believe, just take a look around, man. And not to mention, as we stated earlier, 2024 started off with a bang, right? And now you see all these weather, these storms, these floods are happening all over the place. Earthquakes are happening all over the place. And now the Lord said, I won't greet thee as a man. So he's also coming to his angelic forces at this point in time, man.
Also, too, you got all these people that's coming here in America in droves, man, in thousands. A bunch of people coming from a whole bunch of different countries, And of course, you won't really see any women or children in those groups. And then on top of that, too, now you got the state of Texas, who's taking upon himself, to blockade, the border to people coming in, and that's going against Joe Biden. That's going against the government. Now there's rumors that's going around on the news network that it may actually lead to a civil war. You know, if all the states start taking it upon themselves to do what they have to do and not listen to the government. But a civil war is gonna happen.
Right.
You know?
It's all going down, man.
Yeah, so
it's all going down this way. And there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, these devils have been fighting for years, man. And they've always been coming up against Israel for years. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say Texas always been that type of state that wanted to separate from the rest of the states.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Be an independent
Yeah,
state.
yeah. Everybody wants their sovereignty.
Their sovereignty, right?
Everyone wants their sovereignty. You know, they're talking about disassociating themselves with these, quote unquote, these United States, man. Right?
I got one here, Elder.
Go ahead.
So Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And it says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
And this is what's going to be going on, man. Like the brother's getting into, talking about that civil war. There's going to be internal wars. There's going to be internal battles within each other.
That's right.
You know. Go ahead, bro.
No, just the trailer of that movie Civil War. When the guy asked him, like he said, we're Americans, and then the soldier asked him,
what type of American? Right. That's it. You know. And he had, and a lot of these jakes out here, man. You may think you got the complexion for protection. You may look like Esau Edom, man, but these devils, they know, man. There's a difference. You can tell by someone's spirit when you walk up on them and you see them and you look at them. All right? So that's a good point that they said in that movie. What kind of American? Esau was like, yeah, that shit ain't gonna cut it. Had his gun ready to go, man. But the thing is, you people are gonna really be faced with this shit, man. That's gonna be a reality real soon. You're gonna try to go into a grocery store. These devils is gonna be. There was one Esau Edomite. He rolled up on the shit, had his little camera rolling, got out the car with an AK-47 and started mowing niggas down. You don't think that's gonna happen again? Because when all hell breaks loose, the first ones at these department stores is Jake. You know them Black Fridays?
Oh yeah.
You ever notice some Black Fridays, right?
You
Only do this shows all Israelites. Just niggas like madmen. Yeah, right. Esau has already prepared himself. These Edomites, they've already seen the writing on the wall, so to say. So they got their shit beforehand. But Jake, we procrastinators. We wait till the last fucking minute. Then when Esau says, yeah, by the way, all stores gonna be closed for the next 4 months. Now Jake wanna get up and get his thing going. It's gonna be too late, man. So a lot of these shit's gonna be traps out there. They're gonna tell y'all to go to these stores and Esau gonna start mowing people down.
Yeah, I was gonna real quick. Now, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 40. It says, "Oh my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and then those evils be even as pilgrim upon the earth."
Right. Again, make you ready for the battle, and it's talking about those evils again, as pilgrims upon the face of the earth. All right. So there's gonna be no escaping this thing, man. And we may sound redundant, but again, until the prophecy comes to pass, it's relevant, man. All this is relevant right now. Until the Lord sews this thing up, it's all relevant. You know, Noah did the very same thing, building that ark, telling people the sky is gonna open up, so on and so forth. Thought him to be crazy, man. Right? Go ahead, Elder. We got a piece up on this side. Go ahead.
Real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry."
Right. A lot of men couldn't wait for it. A lot of men decided that the Lord was taking too long. Though it tarry, wait for it. So you got to put the Lord gave us armor. He gave us the battle equipment, man. Put it on and endure until the fight is over, man. The fight ain't over. Okay? Put on that breastplate and that helmet and have your feet shod up, man. This is what you got to do. Continue to fight until the Lord ends the fight, man. You know, when Floyd Mayweather fought this dude, I think it was Cruz. Dude was fucking around and went down, and the ref brought him back together, and he sat there with his hands down. Floyd gave him the combo, bam, bam. And what Floyd said, everybody thought Floyd was a fucking asshole. So Floyd said, what? You gotta be ready at all times. Protect yourself at all times. You gotta protect yourself at all times, man. These devils ain't gonna give you no goddamn break, man. But again, you gotta be involved with this word. You gotta be engulfed in this word. That's gonna be able to save you, man. In the sense of preparing you, keep you on the right track. You know what I'm saying? All right, where we at? Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 15, and I'll start at 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They shall till the ground. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of in hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
Now the brother was talking about that civil war. All right, it's going to be taking place. Now, when you saw that movie, when we watched that movie, Leave the World Behind, I think it was.
Leave the World Behind.
They rolled up to the dude's house.
Oh yeah, he was ready.
He wasn't trying to give up nothing, man.
He was at the grocery store while she was.
They knew each other
while she was shopping.
Right?
No, the guy that was armed and ready knew the guy whose house it was.
Right.
But when the lady had went down into the town to go to the market to get some things, she seen him, and she was like, he knows what's going on, because she saw that he was preparing himself for something that was coming. And he had that look on his face too. You better get yourself ready.
And he's like, he's probably going in looking to buy hairspray and fucking makeup. Silly bitch. That's looking like silly bitch. But again, you think you know somebody? You think you're gonna be friends with somebody when all hell breaks loose?
Right.
Oh no.
That's gonna be no such thing, man.
Get off my property, Derek.
That's it.
Get off my property, Malik.
Right. And it got to the point where the tensions was hot, man. The tensions was real hot. They pointing the gun.
He said, hey, we know each other.
Right.
He was like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. The only thing I'm responsible for is me and the people that's in this house.
Right, behind that door right there. Go ahead, brother.
Just about to what you were saying, there's going to be a form of tribalism.
Oh yeah.
You know, people with an opposite mind, they're going to be adverse to the.
That's right. It says here, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
There shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Now, what would be a purpose that you're going to invade somebody? If a man ain't got shit, you ain't going to invade him, right? You going to walk right by a man and be like, you can look, he ain't got shit, I'm out. Keep it moving. But you're going to invade those who may have something that you need.
Matter of fact, they show you that there was this movie, what's that movie? Bird Box. When they had driven around, they found out how they was getting Pop-Tarts and all kind of shit from the cabinets. They was ransacking the cabinets so they can have something to eat, man. You know?
But you know what too? Also in a very movie called Leave the World Behind, while everybody was out there, fighting for good, and trying to find out what's going on, that little girl was able to find
she found herself
a bunker, like a safe haven.
You know what she said though to her brother? She said, I'm tired of waiting. She said, I'm tired of waiting. She took off on his ass. They woke up that next day, couldn't find that little bitch. She was over there eating Cheerios and Captain Crunch. She was over there living good, man. Living good.
Meanwhile, he's losing his teeth.
And it's going to show too, man, that that movie goes spiritual too, because that's how the Lord's gonna work. Because all that little goody that was left in the house, inside a bunker in the basement, we was put for somebody else, but that person was nowhere to be found. But that
probably was on that beach. Laid out on that beach where my man found all the people on the beach. It's probably laid out over there. While it was nice and pristine too. She walked down there, the lights came on real nice. The couch was ready for her. She had a whole new life. She was starting a whole new life.
Good, brother.
Got some more now?
Yeah, there's a little bit more, bro. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? Meaning they're gonna take matters into their own hands. Right. What did she say? I'm tired of waiting. That's right. We just been sitting here for the last few days. We getting fucked up. We can't go home. We was trying to drive back to the house. The goddamn Tesla's almost crashed into us. I'm tired of waiting. They're gonna take matters into their own hands. Right. You're gonna see a lot of people that are sane right now that everything is good, but you're gonna see insane people when all hell breaks loose. Right.
Oh man.
People that are together, and when I say together, I mean mentally. Right. What do the scriptures say? The scriptures say this. that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. We're going to need mental stability when all hell breaks loose.
Yep.
This is why Jeremiah is so powerful when it says the time of Jacob's trouble, because it also says that he will be saved out of it. And so you have to be mentally prepared to continue on and to have a level of perseverance.
I want to say.
I think it's 2 Peter, where 2 and 3, where it says endure hardness.
That's Timothy.
2 Timothy. I'm sorry. 2 Timothy.
Yep. Gotcha.
Let me have that.
Gotcha. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3.
Yeah.
Now therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Go all the way up to the top. Go all the way up to the top.
2 Timothy 2 verse 1.
Yep.
Now therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Right. Be strong in the grace. Why? Because look, the squirrel won't hear the word. You hearing the word, man? He ain't got no food for you. Yeah. Go ahead, read that, bro.
From the top again?
That's all right. That's a good squirrel right there.
From the top?
Yeah. It's like
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushua Mashiach,
Yep.
and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also.
And this is what the apostles did, right? They stood fast in the word, and then they committed the word to us. And now we're committing the word to other people, other men. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man that worth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
Because a part of that mental stability is thinking in the future. The scriptures talk about having vision, that you have to have vision. You know, that's in Psalms, I believe it is. Right? So we have to have a vision to think of the things to come, and that's gonna well, what's that? Romans 8, where it says the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us. I think it's 17,
18.
Yeah,
I got you. Romans 8 and 18.
Yep.
It says, "For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us."
Right. So we got to think about that glory, man. That's what's going to help us persevere through these things. That's what's going to help us keep going. Go ahead, brother.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 9.
Yep.
They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with them. For the grace and mercy is to his saints, and he had care for his elect.
That's right. That's right. Keep going.
But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imagination, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord.
Right. Neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord, right? Because that's the only way we're going to get out of here. It's by Yahweh Shem Yahushua and having faith and believing on him. That's the only way we're going to make it through this impending danger that we talk about. Keep going, brother.
Verse 11, whoso despise wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors are fruitful, and their works are profitable.
Right, and their labors few and their works unprofitable, man. That's right. That's right. Because you have to maintain in the things that you learn. That's right. You have to. It's imperative that you have a foundation to go back to. You have to have a foundation. You can't build a home, start it off with one type of foundation, and then after you build it up through the first level, go back and try to change the foundation. You'll never finish a house. You'll never finish a house. So you got to maintain in the things that you learn. You got to maintain in the things that you were taught.
Look at this. 1 Timothy 4:16.
And that's how you really, when you're grounded, that's the best way to grow, right? You can't as a seed grow unless you've taken root, right? But if your roots, if you keep trying to pull them up, right? If you plant the seed, you dig that seed up and try to plant it somewhere else, it's never going to sprout. Keep going.
1 Timothy 4:16.
Yep.
Take heed unto thyself.
Yep.
And unto the doctrine.
Yep.
Continue in them.
Yep.
For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Right. You shall both save thyself and them that hear thee. Right. So this is a part of the endurance. This is a part of the building yourself up, taking root into the ground that you were planted in. Right. You take root and you allow yourself to grow. You ever watch? I watch those videos. They'll do a time lapse of a seed growing. They'll plant the seed in the dirt and they'll cover it up. They'll water it. It's all going in fast motion, and you see it sprout, and then the roots go deeper, deeper, deeper into the bottom of the vase or whatever it's in, right? And then as after the roots have solidified themselves, then you see the bud sprout, right? Then the bud sprouts, and then it grows, and then the next thing you know, it's a plant, right? You ever see them time lapse videos?
Down first.
Yep. It gets its roots. It gets its bearings about itself. This is why the script, when you go to, I think it's 1 Corinthians 15, it talks about being sown corruptible and being risen incorruptible. You gotta be buried first. You gotta be buried first so that you can take root, and then you grow, man. Then you sprout. But if you keep trying to root yourself up and plant yourself in a different piece of land, you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna sprout to that little seed. Keep going. Who was reading? Was you reading those?
No, I'm done with that. Yeah,
You got something?
I was looking for that word in Corinthians.
The one I was reading. Oh yeah, it's 15 and yep. You can start at. Start at 51.
1 Corinthians 15 and 51.
Yep.
Behold, I show you a mystery.
Yep.
We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
Yep.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye,
Yep.
at the last trump,
Right.
for the trump shall sound,
Yep.
and the dead shall be raised incorruptible,
That's right.
and we shall be changed.
That's right.
For this corruptible must put on incorruptible,
Yep.
and this mortal must put on immortality.
That's right. That's right. And the only way you could do that, right, it's going to tell you you have to be buried, sown, and then risen.
Verse 54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption,
Yep.
And this mortal shall have put on immortality,
Yep.
then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Let me see. Where you at? Verse 54. Yeah, it is. Here it is. Start at 43.
43.
Yep.
Same chapter,
Yep.
verse 43.
Yep.
It is sown in dishonor.
Yep.
It is raised in glory.
Right. It is sown in dishonor. Because you look at a seed, it don't look like much. Right? What do the scriptures say about faith in the mustard seed, right? It's the smallest of all the seeds, but it grows the biggest crop, right? So it looks unassuming. It's just a seed, it's just sitting there, but you plant it into the ground, and then those roots spread, and then that little seedling pops up out of the dirt.
Let me say this real quick about seeds, real quick.
Yep.
So my sons and I, we had a melon.
Yep.
Little green melons.
Yep.
So we decided to take some of those seeds and put them in some dirt,
Yep.
which we did. And the crazy thing about the seed is when it started to sprout up, the outside of the seed was still there.
Yeah, but
so
it's the
inner
it's the
part of
plant.
the seed.
Yeah,
Man, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
man.
bad.
The Lord is bad, man. They talking about some big bad. The Lord is bad.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I did.
To look at that and understand it. It's crazy. Good. No, good.
I did some watermelon seed, but I did it too late in the year, so I didn't get fruit. But it's the seed, the outside of the seed, the casing of the seed is that seedling that pops up. But you put it in the dirt, and then on the bottom of it is where the roots grow out of. The roots grow out of it, and then once those roots, like I said, once they harden, well, I shouldn't say harden, but once they firm themselves in the soil, then that seeding opens up. It sprouts up, and then it opens up, and then everything grows out of it. Yeah, it's bad. The Lord is bad. Look, everything is free, man. The Lord gave us food for free. It's all free. You know, so you got to learn those things. The brother Dawad, he's a master gardener.
1 Corinthians 15, verse 43. It is sown in dishonor.
Yep.
It is raised in glory.
Yep.
It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.
Right, it's sown in weakness, right? Not much unless you plant it. The seed in and of itself is nothing, but once it's planted and it's buried, then it becomes something, right? Go ahead.
Verse 54, it is sown a natural body,
Yep.
it is raised a spiritual body.
Yep.
There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
Right.
And so it is written, continue on.
Yeah, keep on.
Yep. And so it was written, the first man Adam was made a living soul,
Right.
and the last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
That's right. So that's what we're hoping for. So to be risen in and that quickened spirit, right? To say quicken is to be made alive. To be quickened, right, or to become that quickened spirit, we gotta be rooted. We gotta be rooted. We gotta be grounded. What it is we know. We've been convinced of that.
This is Mark 2:4-2. It says, and he taught them many things by parables, and say unto them in his doctrine, hearken, behold, they went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on stony grounds where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up. Because it had no depth of the earth.
It had no depth of the earth, right? And so those things, they can't be rooted because there's no depth of the earth. And what happens? They get washed away in the rain. Man. That's it. Keep going.
But the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away.
Right. So when it gets hot in that sun, right? It gets hot. What happens? It withers away because it wasn't grounded. It didn't take any root. Right? Keep going.
And some fell among thorns, and the thorn grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And others fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up, and increased, and brought forth some 30, some 60, and some 100.
Right. So you have to be rooted, man. You gotta be on solid ground. The scriptures talk about also another analogy, same principle though, that you have to build a house on stone. So that it can stand strong. And then what does it say? That the Lord Yahweh Shai is the chief cornerstone.
That's right.
Right? When you have a cornerstone, they might have one on this book. When you have a cornerstone, it's you set the rest of the building based on that cornerstone. So when you dig your foundation, you make the ground level, and then you set that first cornerstone, and then you build the rest of the structure based on that cornerstone, and then how level it is, how sound it is, and then the rest of the structure can be built up soundly, right? Yep. And so when you see those, you'll see a building and it'll say established such and such date. That's the cornerstone. They put that date on that cornerstone, and they set it, they level it, and then they build up the structure around that cornerstone. And the Lord is doing the same thing with the men of the Lord. He set up the Lord Yahweh Shai, and he showed the rest of us how to live and behave ourselves, right? And then now we establish the rest of the building based on what that cornerstone. He's level, right? He's level, he's grounded, he's the foundation. So now the rest of us can be built on his foundation, you know? Go ahead.
Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which builded his house upon a rock.
That's right.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not.
Right.
For it was founded upon a rock.
I watch these little videos, man. These dudes, they bad too, man. They'll be in the woods somewhere. They get the trees. They'll cut the trees down, and they'll take all the bark off the tree, sand it down real nice, dig a hole in the ground, put the log in the ground, put rocks in there, right? And then they'll take dirt and they'll mix it up with some ash, and they'll make their own cement, pour that down in there around the rocks, and then it hardens, and now you got yourself. They be building these little log cabins, man. But the reason why they do that is because that's how you make it stand strong. You put it in stone, and you cement it. That's how you make it stand.
Right, the scriptures say they use slime for water.
Yep.
That's the same thing those men were doing.
Yep. So a man who has a strong foundation can then build a strong house, so that house can stand through all turmoil, through all storms and tempests. So that house can stand because it was built on a strong foundation. You look at some of these like for instance, right? You go outside after a strong windstorm, and you see everything all leaned over to the side, but all these houses still stand. They were built well. That means they were built well. They had strong foundation. And even when you see them, what they'll do when you go to any site, they probably got some stuff going on here in the city. Go to any site where they're building. What do? They dig in what they call ground zero, right? They'll dig out where they're gonna have the footprint of this building, say, right? And then after they've dug it out, what do? They make it level. They make it level on the sides. They make it level on the ground. And then what do? They lay that rebar down. They lay that rebar down, and that rebar enforces the cement that they pour for the foundation, right? And so now once they get that strong and sound, then they can build up. They'll put the beams in, and then they'll put the walls up, and so forth and so on. You know. Go ahead, brother Salaki.
This is Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous running into it and is safe.
Go ahead, Salaki, brother. I apologize.
This is Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous running into it and is safe.
Yep. The righteous runneth into it and is safe, man. So we gotta. That's a part of that foundation that we're talking about. The Lord's name, right? Being a strong tower. We got to continue on in those things, man. You know, like Elder Apostle Nahar said, and I believe this. We have what we need for salvation, right? And that's where you start your foundation on. You don't need fancy materials to build a house. You know, they don't need to be fancy. All they have to do is be solid. That's all they have to do. They don't have to have wings. You don't see people with houses with wings on it. You don't see what you can do the fancy trimmings once the house is built. And you think of that, you can think of that in this way, that's the kingdom. The fancy trimmings we'll have when the kingdom comes. Being super deep or having the pleasures of the world, we'll worry about those things when we get in the kingdom. And right now, you solidify your house with the simplest of materials. You watch those videos, man, and you see what these dudes be. I'll be fascinated, man. It'll be a little hill, and they'll dig out on the side of the hill just to make a little impression into the hill. And then they'll set there, like I said, those logs, and they'll put the rocks down in there. They'll make the ash. They'll burn sticks down until it's all ash. Then they'll put dirt in that, and they'll mix it with the ash, and they'll put some water in there. It makes like a type of cement. They pour that down in there, and then they get the logs going, and they put their floor down, and when it's done, you're like, damn, that motherfucker did that shit by itself, and he didn't need much. Put a little stove in there, like one of them little the stove probably about that big. They got a stack, right? You take the stack and you put that outside the house so that the smoke and the toxins don't suffocate you. Them dudes be badass, man. Like that, I'll be ashamed almost, because them men, they're gonna be able to take care of their family. Hell yeah. Yeah, you got it.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:27. Going back to what you were saying about, the house doesn't have to be super fancy. It says 1 Corinthians 1:27. But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Yeah. And the Most High has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things that are mighty.
Right. So you look at theology school, you look at the biggest scientists of the world. You look at these real fanciful pastors, right? But you don't need that to build a house. You don't need that to build a house. You got some people that they we've been bums before because of the garments that we have on, right? But all you don't need much. I had gotten this is a long time ago, let me tell you. But I had gotten a message. This is when you could do direct messaging on YouTube. And I had gotten a message on my channel. It was a guy. He said, what do I need to start a camp? And I was like, what do you mean? I understand what he was saying, and I thought he was trying to set me up, so I was kind of leery about it. I was like, let me answer this dude, man. I said, listen, man, you don't need much. Get you a piece of cardboard, write the 12 tribes on it, right? Get you a phone that got a camera on it, and you record yourself speaking. Get you a garment, you can get a blanket, cut a hole in it, put that on as your garment. You got your cardboard sign with the 12 tribes, and then you got a phone to record yourself. And really, that's all you need. Right. And he responded to me, that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. And that's all you need, man. The basic material. You got, back in the day, you would see Nate and what's the other guy? Nathaniel, I'll say, and then you have this other guy, Tazadakia. The God sent comforter, he called himself, right? You had him. They would sell garments. Them shits would be $300.
They would exaggerate, with those garments, man.
I mean, they were nice. I'm not gonna say they weren't nice looking. They were nice looking, but they were, like you said, they were exaggerated. They were unnecessary, right? You get you a piece of. We made a video. This when you were staying over there in that little third floor spot. We made a video on how to make these ones. Get you a piece of fabric, fold that bad Larry up. Get some fabric glue. Get you some fabric, some liquid stitch. Yep. And you sew it together with that liquid stitch. You press it down, let it dry. Put your fringes on there. Put your border of blue on there. You got yourself a garment.
Yep.
You didn't need to have. We got brothers that got sleeves on it, and then it's like a it's like a goddamn. They got the vesture over it, and then they got the cummerbund on it. I was like, God damn. I mean, they look good. I'm not gonna say they didn't look good, but I'm not paying $300 for no goddamn garment, man. I'll go to you get $10 a yard or something like that.
Michaels or whatever.
Yeah, Michaels. What's the other fabric place? But yeah, Michaels.
The headwear was $500.
Yeah, see, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know, but again, that's they make merchandise of the men of the Lord, right? But anyway, the point is, the materials are simple, and that's those build. That's all you need. Just a little shelter. That's all you need is a little shelter to get you through the winter. You don't need much, man. There's another guy. He's up in Alaska somewhere, and he be having his sons with him. They'll make a little shelter for the night. They'll be like, Alaska's all snow and shit. So they'll have these big mounds of snow. He'll cut the snow, make a shelter in there, put the cot out, put that same little stove idea. Motherfuckers be sitting in there nice and cozy, man. I said, that dude gonna be able to take care of his family when the wilderness comes, But the point is, you don't need much for the truth. You don't need much for the truth. It's very easy and simple. And I say that, when I say easy, I mean practically. It's easy to put together. You don't need much. Now mentally, emotionally, and all those things that you have to have endurance for. But to start your house, you don't need much. It's very simple. Go ahead.
That's from the comment board. This is from GMS Spiritual Art 144. Okay, it's Proverbs. Shalom. Proverbs 23 and 23. Buy the truth and sell it not.
That's right. Buy the truth and sell it not. What does that mean? It doesn't mean buy it monetarily, right? You take out your money, peel your greenbacks off, and pay for the truth that way. It means pay. What is it? What's that in Corinthians? Make your bodies a living sacrifice. That's how you pay for it. You pay with your life. You pay with your effort. The scriptures say, "Give diligence to make your calling and election sure." So you pay with your effort, right? So you're buying the truth with your effort and your sacrifice, but you're not selling it. You don't sell it. It's easy. It's very simple. That's a good precept. It's a good precept, man.
I got another one.
Go ahead.
From the same brother, Matthew 10 and 8.
Yep.
Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils.
Yep.
Freely ye have received, freely give.
Freely ye have received, freely give. Right? Because it's very simple. It's not complex. Matter of fact, let's go to Matthew 23. Excuse me, Matthew 23.
I'll get that one.
Whoever gets it doesn't matter. You don't want to get it, man. I'll get it. Share the wealth.
Yeah. Matthew 23, right? Start the
You start at 1. I want to make a point about the Lord Yahweh Shai.
Gotcha. This is Matthew 23, verse 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciple, saying, the scribe and the Pharisee sit in Moses' seat.
Right.
All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do.
Right. So anything that they tell you to do, right, that observe and do. Right? Because they sit in Moses' seat. Keep going.
But do not ye after their work, for they say and do not.
Right, but do not after their works, because they say and do not. Keep going.
For they bind heavy burden and grievous to be borne,
keep going.
And lay them on men's shoulders. But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
Keep going.
But all their works they do for to be seen of men.
All their works they do to be seen of men. Right? What does they say? Keep going.
For they make broad their phylacteries.
Yeah, you got it, brother. You said it perfect. Go ahead, bro.
And enlarge the borders of their garments.
Enlarge the borders of their garments. Make broad their phylacteries. Keep going.
Showing off.
And
love the uppermost room at feast.
Love the uppermost rooms at feast. They love to be called. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Keep going.
And the chief seat in the synagogue. And greeting in the markets. And to be called of men, rabbi.
Right.
But be not ye called rabbi. For one is your master, even Yahushua Mashiach.
Right. So the point is this, right? The Lord Yahweh Shai, when he came, he wasn't making it complex, right? It was so much so he was so humble, in fact, that they didn't even believe who he was. because Israel was waiting to see. Matter of fact, what is that? We'll wait for you to see a man in gay appearance. What came for you to see? A prophet, yea, and more than a prophet. What's that precept?
Hold on.
That's not James, right?
No. Can you paraphrase it or?
You could read this. Read this. No, read this right here. I can't think of that scripture, but he was saying, look, when John the Baptist came, right? What did he have? He had a garment made of camel's hair.
Yeah.
But you're right, sackcloth, right?
Yeah.
A garment made of camel hair, and his meat was locust and honey.
Yep.
Right. So it was simple and basic.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Paul even said this? He said, I was concerned of nothing saving the Lord Yahweh Shai and him being crucified. So it was simple, right? And I don't mean simple as in it's easy. I mean simple as in there's a basicness to it. You don't need anything fanciful to push the word and make it and it to be true.
It's so fancy.
You don't need to be super deep, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be fanciful in your delivery. Nothing. You keep it basic and you keep pushing until the Lord comes back. He said, occupy until I come, right? So what are we occupying? Did he rebuild the temple and have them in there and this is where y'all gonna be at? No, he didn't rebuild the temple. His Passover was simple, right? It was just him, the 12, a couple of pieces of bread, a couple of pieces of lamb, and they did that Passover and they kept it pushing, man. The Lord did it the way we should be doing it. He left the example for us. He's the cornerstone, right? And we build the rest of the building based on him.
And meanwhile, too, at the same time, there were other people who thought that, the one who was to be the king to come would come in a glorious form, riding in big horses.
Well, because they read some of the scriptures.
Yeah.
Because when you read Isaiah 63, it says that he would come in a glorious way.
Yeah.
Right. So they was expecting.
Yeah.
He came. His hands would be like show enough. He come down like show enough. Hands be fire, having a fucking glow. His jerry curl is real shiny. That's what they thought they was gonna see when he came back.
Yeah.
So when he came back humble and meek, they was like, nah, this can't be him. This can't be him. But the 12, they believed, because what did they say? We have found the Christ, which is being interpreted the Messiah that we've been looking for. We found him.
That's
Right? So he was simple about it. And this is why this is it. You got 2 tripods here, 1 camera there, 1 camera there, the sign, and some black guys. That's it. And the token.
You want me to read that, brother? James 2, verse 2, for if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile remnant, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place.
Yeah, the guy with the good clothing. Come here, I got a seat right here for you. Right? But the guy who's meek and lowly, right? You ignore him, right? Keep going.
And say to the poor, stand thou there.
But this is the mind of our people, right? Hey man, stay over there, man. You good? Stay over there, yeah. But this is our people. Our people always want to find something spectacular.
Yep.
What did the scripture say though? A wicked generation seeketh after that sign.
Yep.
Because we always want something. It gotta be, you want the guy floating in the wind. His hair is just blowing in the wind. His afro is just shiny. Right? That's what they're looking for, right?
Exactly.
It really is easy for you. We don't need nothing better than that. Yeah.
Want to finish on
No,
this
keep
verse?
going.
Keep going? Good.
I just have one little line.
Yeah.
Good.
And say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
Right, sitting here under my footstool. They treat the meek and simple as pieces of garbage, man, trash, right? But that's what the Lord did. The Lord came back meek, man. Right? Even in him coming on the ass's coat was a symbol of meekness.
Come on,
right?
come on. Like when it comes to the real quick, when he was washing
The apostles' feet.
Feet, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Think about that.
Yep.
I every once in a while when this pops in my mind, I said, look, I seen brothers' feet, man. I ain't washing nobody's feet. But think about that for a second, though. Think about that. I wouldn't expect nobody to wash my feet. And even Peter, he was like, nah, you ain't washing my feet. And then he said, what did the Lord say? He said, he whose feet I do not wash. How do you say it? Let me paraphrase. Basically, if you don't let me wash your feet, you ain't down with me, right? And he said, okay, wash my feet and my head, right? But you think about that, man. I ain't washing no man's feet, man. You getting down, you washing a man. I'm not doing that, and I'm just being honest. Huh? Yeah, you got that? Yeah. Yep.
Matthew 11:7. And as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitude concerning John,
Yep.
what went ye out into the wilderness to see?
Yep.
A reed shaken with the wind?
Yep.
But what went ye out for to see?
Yep.
A man clothed in soft raiment?
Right, a man clothed in soft raiment. Keep going.
Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in the king's houses.
Right, they that wear soft clothing is in the king's houses. Right? But we're not in the king's houses, not yet. Not yet. These are what they call humble beginnings. Right? These are humble beginnings. Keep going, brother.
But what went ye out for to see?
Yep.
A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet.
Yep.
For this is he of whom it is written, behold, I send my messengers before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee.
Yeah, and that's what he did. And that's what John the Baptist did. He prepared the way for the Lord. What did he tell the people? He told the people, he said, go, who warned you of the things of the wrath to come? Right? Go and bring forth things meet for repentance. Meaning what? Don't just come here with no bullshit. Go and change your life. Meet for repentance means that is suitable for repentance. You can't just come like, yeah, I'm good, but you haven't changed your mind. You haven't changed your mindset. You know. You know, there's some people don't do that. Some people don't change the way they think and their behavior. Right? It's hard to do. It's hard to do when you live your life a certain way for a long time. It's hard to remove that. Some of us have the ability to swallow it down and to change, but some don't, man. Some don't, and it's hard to do, but you have to do it. The scriptures say, when I was a child, I spake as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And a lot of people can't do that. Go ahead, bro.
The scripture also talks about being renewed in the spirit.
That's
of
right.
mind.
That's right.
You can't be caught up in your old habit. You gotta, like the scripture talks about, fighting off that old man.
That's it, man. And it's difficult. It's difficult. You can't expect to change something overnight that you've been doing all your life, man. It's hard, but you have to do it. It's expected of you. The Lord tells us, he said that you have to become like one of these little children, right? Unless you become like babes, right? We have to shake all of that old man off you, whatever you thought you knew, whatever school you went to, whatever job you had. Go ahead, bro.
And that word babes is very important, because it comes with humility, man. It comes with meekness, humbleness.
That's it.
You know?
That's it. And that's hard for people to do, man. To when you live a life of independence, when you live a life of a vigilante, so to say, where you had no one to answer to, and then come into this thing and have something and someone and people and men to answer to, that's hard to do. That's hard to do, but you got to do it. Go ahead.
No, but it's all in the will of the Lord.
That's
you
it.
You got to be able to learn how to discern, like, okay, my past life was wrong. Like the scripture said that the sacrifice of the Most High is a contrite heart. That's it. That word contrite goes into feeling guiltful for what you done.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You have to be that way, man. That's it. You have to be that way. And really, if all you had was humility, you will be 10 steps ahead of the rest of the pack. Let me tell you. If you don't know 10 scriptures, but you got humility, you ahead of the pack, man. Keep going, bro. Keep going. You got you in the spirit.
Just to back up on what you were saying, like people, like men, feel like just becoming humble and meekful is a form of weakness.
Yeah,
It's actually a form of strength.
That's exactly what it is, because what you're saying is you're not defined by someone else's opinion of you. You're defined by your humility and your faith. That's beautiful, brother.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, brother. That's the ultimate form of strength. Someone who doesn't make it about themselves and they put off themselves for the betterment of something bigger than them. That's the ultimate exercise of a man.
Let me give you a quick little testimony. We had a brother that was in the camp a while back, and he had I guess the reporter came back that during the Passover, he had went left or whatever. But when we found out, he had brought this cat head to the camp, to hear the word of whatever, one of his boys. And when we had found out what was going on with the Passover, we said, "Yo, you out of here, bro. You ain't supposed to carry yourself like that." And in front of his boy, he was like, "Nah, I love the Lord. I want to be here. I want to be here." Which it struck me as, wow. Usually when you got your boy with you, you're like, "Nah, fuck you niggas. I'm out of here." But he brought himself down to that level where he put himself. He didn't put himself above himself, so to say. If that makes sense.
Right. It wasn't about his ego.
Right.
He put his life above his ego.
Right. And
what does the scripture say? It says, "He that loses life shall find it." Right. And it takes for you to put away your ego to do something like that. Right. Like, the elder always said, when we first started coming out, when we was coming out on Saturdays, man. When you was early 20s, Saturdays was the day. Yeah. You might get up, you might hoop from 12 to 2:30, 3 o'clock, go home, take a shower, and be ready to go to a house party, or might go to the bar with your boys and hang out, whatever it is. It takes a man to let go of his ego, to put that away, and to push the word. Go ahead, and then I'm gonna let this brother speak to brothers in the spirit. Go ahead, bro.
Like, just to give you an example, right? Like, you got people that won't even work a certain job to feed their family,
right?
No matter how, if it's like cleaning toilets,
or
like,
too much pride.
Yeah, because of too much. The scripture say pride go for destruction.
That's it.
You gotta be able. That's when Yahweh Shai is really bringing us down this slow fall, because there's strength in it, man.
That's it, man. That's it. Go ahead, bro.
Romans 12, 1 and 2.
Point, brother.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
It's our reasonable service to make our bodies a sacrifice, right? The elder spoke about how cold it was out here. That is a sacrifice. Right? I was thinking about this as I was driving up. I said, the scriptures say this, that our righteousness is as filthy rags, right? But this is why we do what we do, because this is a token of our sacrifice, right? We don't have lambs and bullocks and what have you to sacrifice on an altar. We don't even have an altar, but this has become the altar. The cameras being set up here, the brothers being here, this has become the altar, and us being out here pushing the word has become our sacrifice on that altar, right? And so this is why we do this. We do this because we're not righteous, not because we're these mighty men. We do it because we know we're not righteous, and we know that we're asking the Lord for mercy, man. We know that we're asking for His grace. If we're delivered, that's a symbol of our grace, or that, let me say it this way, the grace that the Lord had for us. Come on, right? So we're fighting for that. We're not. Look, man. If you sit here and act like, I'm the most righteous, or I'm the best, or whatever, that's foolish, man. That's a fool. Even Paul spoke today. He said, if I'm going to glory in my infirmities, right? So it's not about being the best or being the most righteous. It's about hoping that you're going to be delivered, because what did the scriptures say? That we are saved in hope. Keep going, bro.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect, the will of the Most High.
Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because when you in the world, right, you don't even like taking little L's, like little small losses. You'll lie, right? You might manipulate a situation, right? But you have to put away that ego, man. You have to put away that ego. Don't be afraid to apologize. Don't be afraid to say I was wrong about something.
This is Colossians chapter 3. The whole chapter is good. recommend brothers read that. But I'm gonna get right to the point here. 9 and 10, it says, lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
That's right, man. Renewed in knowledge, man.
Now people now, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision or uncircumcision, barbarian or Scythian, bond nor free, but Yahushua in us all and in all. But put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
Right, meekness and long suffering, man. Because this, let me tell you, this thing will put gray hairs on you, man. You go bald, you get gray hairs, you know, your stomach get big, your feet get sore. you got before you get off the bed, you gotta plant your feet down on the floor to get that heel, get that heel lubed up before you get up out, and then you limp your ass to the bathroom, right? Then you gotta hold on to the sink while you're using the bathroom. It's just, I tell you, man, it's a rough life, man.
Yeah, you can literally watch men transform when they come into this truth, man. You know, young men coming all ready to roll, you know, as the years go by and the weights get put on your shoulder, man, you feel it, man. And your life just, you know, but you put away all those worldly things that you was once into, you know, and those worldly things will keep people fit, you know. They want to go out and look good for the women, and that's the battle most men have. They want to go impress them women, man. Looking all good and sharp, buying the friends. Yeah, that's all bullshit now, man. We're gonna get the hell out of here. Them women are gonna come. They're gonna come running, whether they want to or not. They're gonna have no choice. They're gonna come running. But our focus isn't on that. Our focus is on pushing the word of Yahushua, right? And all things be added unto the Lord that we have found the Lord, you know?
Even suspicious woman, the Lord said this in the beginning comes sin, and where we all die. You know, because many of them will go to win because of the woman, like the elder said, man. You know, when you see a guy go out back into the world, you get the line up, you know, and the thing, and the fucking beer, all that stuff. It's to show off, it's to please the woman, like the elder said. That's all there is to it, man.
What's it is?
You know, otherwise, if the one was about men looking boss, yeah, you know, everything like that. Joe will be doing that, all that Latin shit. You know? Just want to put that out. That's it.
That's a good point.
Romans 8, and I'll start at verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
We were talking about that a little while ago. The elder always says, you know, as we close up, he always says, do everything you do it spiritually. Right? And I said it in these ways today. I said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Right? So if you take the time and take the care to be spiritual, you don't got to worry about backtracking and trying to fix things. You know? Keep yourself spiritual, you keep yourself clean. Right. If you keep yourself spiritual, you'll keep yourself clean. And when I say clean, I don't mean clean as in bodily clean. I mean blameless as in deeds. In your deeds, you clean in your deeds. You stay spiritual, you stay clean. Right. And you don't have to worry about explaining yourself to somebody. Something you did, you fucked up here, you fucked up there. You stay spiritual, man. Keep going. This is a good chapter.
Now, verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity with the Most High.
Right, the carnal mind is enmity with the Most High, right? Let's look up that word enmity.
The blue letter or enmity? The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something.
Right, so to be carnally mind is opposed to the Heavenly Father. Right? So we have to remain spiritual. You got some more of that?
Some synonyms: rivalry, feud, discord, bitterness, dislike, bad blood, ill feeling.
Right. So if you're a carnal man, there's gonna be bad blood with the Lord. Right? Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah 17:5.
Yep.
What?
This is Jeremiah 17:5. It says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusted in man.
Right.
Making flesh his arm, and his heart departed from the Lord Yahweh.
That's right.
He shall be like the heat in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in the salt land is not inhabited.
That's right. So you're gonna be barren. You're gonna be barren, right? This is why you have to remain spiritual, because that's how we're quickened, made alive. You still got that?
Romans, right?
Yeah. Take your time.
7. Yeah, Romans 8 and 8. So then that they are in the flesh cannot please the Most High.
Right. If you're in the flesh, you can't please the Most High.
Well, I think I
Nope, that's fine.
Oh.
That's fine. So this is why the elder always says that after camp, for us to be spiritual, right? Because you can't please the Most High otherwise. How do you expect to? How do you expect to please the Most High if you're not being a spiritual man? You know, every whim that you feel, you jump to. Every impulse you feel, you jump to. Right? You have to have some spiritual discipline. You know, think about it. What would these men do, or what would these men say if I did this? You got to think about those things. You have to think about those things. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit.
Yep.
If so be that the spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you.
Right. If so be that the spirit of the Most High dwell with you. Right. It's easy to put away your ego if the spirit of the Lord is dwelling with you. It's easy. You don't worry about your ego being bruised because the spirit is on you. You in the spirit. What do we say? That wisdom and knowledge should be the stability at times. The only way you can do that is if you don't have an ego. You know? You got something?
No, just to back up what you were saying, it's always going to be a fight, man, because you're always going to be tempted.
Always.
Always going to be
Always.
tempted.
Well, let's go to since he said that. Let's go to Matthew, the 4th chapter, where the Lord was tempted. See how the Lord dealt with that temptation.
So Matthew chapter 4 and 1.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 4 verse 1.
Yeah.
It reads, it says, then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Right.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards in hunger.
That's the worst time. If you're not gone on a fast and something tempting you, boy, you say you at your weakest, you know.
And it says, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
Right.
But he answered and said, it is written, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. And it says, then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the temple.
The pinnacle of the temple, meaning like the top, like this, like that. That's the pinnacle of the temple, right there in that church right there. That's the pinnacle of the temple. Go ahead.
And said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. And Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power.
Right. So look, he got tempted one way. He had that armor on though. And he got tempted in another way. Put that armor back on. And he got tempted in another way. Right. So you're right. So you're always going to be tempted. So you always have to reset. Right. And that's what prayer is too, man. Sometimes you just need to get down on your knees and pray, man. And I know that sounds no, Christian-y is what I always say. You know, that sounds Christian-y, right? But I mean that wholeheartedly, man. Sometimes you could be, you get that anxious feeling in your stomach. Sometimes just being in that position of, I think it's called prostrated, when you're down and you're on the ground, right? When you're in that position, it makes you feel good for some. It's a weird thing. You'd have to experience it to know what I'm saying. But when you get down on your knees to pray, man, that is an act of humility. You are bowing to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Sometimes you might pray like this, but when you get down on your knees and you bow to your face to the ground, man, and you pray to the Lord, that's an act of humility, man. And sometimes that's what you need as a reboot to reset yourself. how do I say, you know what you used to have if you had Super Nintendo, that reset button. You slide that reset button on the Super Nintendo. Sometimes you need to do that, man. You might have to take the cartridge out and blow that motherfucker out, man.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you might have, you had them techniques. You wrap your T-shirt around it. You got to wrap it twice, and then you take your two fingers, you wipe it across that. Yeah, sometimes you got to do that, man, to get that damn cartridge to work. And then my cousin one day, we was in there tussling because he the original Nintendo, it had that flap that opened and you slid the cartridge in and you pressed it down. So one day the game wasn't working. He was in there with the cartridge. He's like, nah, trust me. I was like, nah, man. We argued, we flipped, and we tussling. And we got back up. That motherfucker was working though. We got back up and that motherfucker was working, boys. So sometimes you got to reboot, man. You got to reboot. You got to reset. And you might lose your progress in Contra. What's that game? That's your age group, brother. You might lose your progress, but you gotta reset, man. Sometimes you gotta reset. What does the scripture say? The righteous falleth 7 times,
But it comes back again.
Yeah.
It's just like, for example, you did a captain again, man, and you died. It said continue.
Yeah.
You start from the beginning again.
Yeah, ain't nothing like losing them rings in Sonic, man. You losing, you got 278 rings, and you hit that damn spike, and the fucking rings is fucking. Ain't no worse feeling than that, man. But sometimes you got to reboot, and if you're lucky enough, you hit some checkpoints, and you don't got to go all the way back to the beginning.
Exactly.
But sometimes you gotta reboot, man. Sometimes you gotta do that because it's a marathon. Paul talks about running a race, but enduring in the race, right? And it's a marathon. Sometimes you might have to stop and hit one of these, man. If I can get you a sip of water, you might have to stop and do that, man.
And a lot of it is confessing your faults to the Lord. You can't be afraid to confess your faults to the Lord if you feel you're in fault. And ask the Lord for mercy and forgiveness. And that he gives you the power to keep it pushing, but maintaining your integrity as a man in this truth, it's easy to fall to the wayside out here, man. Satan's looking to sift any and everybody, and that's why it's important to pray without ceasing, as is written in the book of Thessalonians. Pray without ceasing. Many men have gotten through because of the prayer and supplication made to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and he heard those prayers, man. We tend to think that we ourselves are in control of our life and the shit that we do. That's far from the case, man. Everything that we have been awarded, been given, or been granted, or had mercy for, is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And when some men think otherwise outside of that box, that's when that pride comes in. They get puffed up and start following their chest. It's all me. I did it. Look at the way I broke it down. Look at the way I did this. I did that. These are the men that the Lord's going to strike down, man.
By you saying that, remind me of that parable between the publicans and the Pharisees.
That's right.
Yep. Why was one more justified than the other? Because humility was present.
That's right.
Humility is present. When you pray, that is an act of humility. Because what you're saying is, I can't do it. I'm leaving it in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what you're saying when you pray. That I've left it in your hands. Now again, I know that sounds like it came straight out of the Baptist church, but it's true, man. I can't stress enough the power of praying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, brother.
Just to back up what you were saying, the scripture also say, humble thyself when thou was changed to a Lord's state.
That's it, man. And make not haste in time of trouble. Man, I'm telling you, man, because if you try to rush out of that trouble, you find yourself in more trouble, man. Oh man, you find yourself in more trouble.
Ran from a bear and a snake bit him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll get a couple more.
Okay. I got Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right, that's the only way you stand against the wiles of the devil is by putting on the armor of light, man. Putting on that armor. that breastplate, that helmet, right? That shield. Get you a sword. It's all right there, man. Keep going.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
Yep.
but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand the evil in the evil day,
Right.
and have done all to stand.
Right. You gotta have the proper armor, man. You gotta learn. You gotta learn how to what did David say? He said, I ain't prove it. That's what I'm looking for. You gotta learn how to prove that armor, man. You know, put that armor on, and you just keep it pushing, man. Just keep it pushing. Push the word. You know, doesn't have to be complex. I can't stress that enough. Doesn't have to be complex. Doesn't have to be fancy. You know, you don't gotta flip it. You know.
Or like
You gotta do none of that, man.
Like niggas that just intro video showing lightning and him doing this and this and that.
They flashing across the screen.
Yeah.
His garment. He got
Flipping over the wind.
That Beyonce fan. He got that his garment blowing in the wind. If he had hair, his hair be flipping around. You know.
But that's all theatrics, and that's Jake, though. Jake is about fancy and flashiness, man. You know. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to make our bodies a living sacrifice. And the Lord knows and sees our works and knows our sincerity as men trying to get through this thing, man. Last thing we want is to be stuck here in fucking Babylon right before it gets destroyed. You know, we don't want no part of this goddamn place. You know, this is why we're doing what we do. This is why we come out, and it's probably about 20 degrees right now. You know, but this is why we do what we do, to make our calling and election sure. You know, we ain't got no axe to grind. I mean, shit, we out here just trying to make it so the Lord can see that we're worthy. You know.
I got something else.
Go ahead, brother.
1 Corinthians 14. KJP. 1 Corinthians 14 and 39. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy, and forbid not to speak with tongues.
That's it. Covet to prophesy and forbid not to speak with tongues. Yeah, you know, then we got Levi over here. You know, this brother over here getting got a little Creole in him.
Yep.
I speak one language or two, English and then the interview. That's it.
I got a definition of covet.
But again, the Lord has given us enough to look up words, to get into the Hebrew, to get into the Greek, to make it to be able to be understood. You know, it's very important to understand the Hebrew and the Greek, because this is how you're going to get understanding of the Bible. You know, these words that you see in English aren't the same words you're going to see in the Hebrew and the Greek. And this is why a lot of men get tossed up, because they see these words in English and they automatically translate it into, oh, this is what it should mean. Instead of go back to these other languages.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
And two, there's a lot of, even English words don't mean the same today as they did yesteryear, too. You have to keep that in mind, bear that in mind, too. But sometimes, I like the newer translations, because sometimes it puts in plain English what some certain scriptures are saying. But there's other times where you read it and you're like, oh, that ain't what that's saying. You know what I mean? You gotta be leery of that.
Yep.
I had that definition of covet. It's the Hebrew word, I think it's chamar, which means to lust, to have a strong desire.
Have a strong desire to prophesy, man. That's what we do every week, man. You know, read some articles, link it up with what the scriptures are saying. Tell brothers to hold on tight, put their seatbelt on, and go home.
Yeah, and shit is happening right now. America shot some rockets over towards Iran and so on and so forth.
I heard something about
shit is happening right now.
No, a missile got shot on a bomber.
Well, that was a couple weeks back.
No, that wasn't a couple weeks back.
Well, if it wasn't a couple weeks back, then all praise Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because we getting one step closer. You know, I don't know what that situation was. I know last week, a couple weeks back, they shot some missiles over.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
But we right there, man, brothers. We coming down the pipe. We're gonna start seeing a lot of shit. And all praises, man, because these are the things that we've hoped to see and look for. Go ahead, brother. You got something to say?
Y'all talking about the UK and US 5 missile at Yemen?
Yeah. So hey, every waking morning, the Most High is gonna bring something to light, man. And all praises for that because it's a beautiful thing. You know, everybody's sitting around here in America, of all places, they've got to be the dumbest people on the planet. They ain't paying attention, man. These other countries at least got their eyes on the prize. I watched one interview. America, the dude's like, "America, you're next. America, you're next." He was dead ass serious too. So whatever tribulation that these other countries are suffering by the hands of America, or America having in cahoots with these devils, you know what? They're gonna drop some shit over here, man. Go ahead.
Now, I did some research on those same people over there who they dropped the bomb on. They chant death to America.
Oh yeah, burning the flag and the whole shit. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You wanna fuck around talking about you gonna go travel abroad? Talking about I'm a U.S. citizen. You see that video where this fucking Edomite came up to this Jake's house? She was like, he was like, "Man, no recording here." She said, "I'm exercising my First Amendment privilege." He said, "Oh, you think this is America?" Got up, smack the shit out of that bitch.
Hey, speaking of that too, in Mexico right now, you got a bunch of
smack the shit out of her.
If I'm at real quick, Elder. Speaking of that too, and down in Mexico, right? You got a whole bunch of Edomites who come down there. You know, they retire early at an early age. You know, to go, you know, spend their wealth in Mexico, but they don't want to pay no taxes. You know, so now they pass a law in Mexico that you gotta pay your taxes. Now, if you don't, you out of here. They think that they can exercise their right and not pay the taxes. Well, guess what? All them Edomites down there are being deported out of Mexico.
Good.
You know, so
good. Because Esau likes to get the lavish places of the world.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, you got something?
Yeah. I think the elder quoted it. Matthew 13 and verse 16 and 17. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
That's right, man. That's right. So we're in a good position. We're in a good position.
Right. To know the things that were written, and when the men were writing them down, they didn't have to understand what they were. For us to now receive the understanding in this time period, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing from the Lord. Because you still got pastors and preachers who've been reading the Bible for 70 years and still don't understand. Right? So we are truly blessed with the Wadi Al-Shai for giving us these blessings of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, man. And this thing is about to go down. We're seeing it right before our very eyes. We don't prophesy until we cannot prophesy no more. Meaning when the Lord closes it up, then the show's over. That's it. They're going to be going back talking about, oh, okay, the Lord got to get back on the cross again and get crucified again. We got to start all over, start from scratch. That shit is out of here, man. Ain't nobody trying to go back. You came too goddamn far, man. You know? Come too far to try to, you know, go back and redo things. Ain't no time for that. Shit, Esau about to make that move, man. He's about to make the move. You know, time to take up trouble's here. And Jake's going to feel it, man. They're going to feel it. Because you said it not all the Lord's counsel. We've been doing this thing in the spirit and power of Al-Shai from our apostles and other men on down. We've been doing it and doing it sincerely, man. All right? So with that, you really got anything else? You got something else? All right, so with that, we're going to wrap it up. Let these brothers get back to the crib. Lord willing, you know, we'll see y'all as another show, but all that we'll give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
The laws and apostles of great millstone that rule well. And all you brothers on the highways and byways and the sit-downs, continue fighting that fight, that good fight of faith. May we all be found worthy. Likewise, for some of you sisters that truly believe and trust in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, may he watch over you as well. And with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
Right. This shit's so goddamn cold, it don't even shut off.